yeah, so Zimon, like this is the an ancient gear deck profile. Since we are getting the ancient gear structure deck reloaded version, which is a more of an upgraded version, more of a competitive version of the deck, which includes new cards, and it's looking to be pretty good. Like I liked ancient gears because I thought they were cool. If you guys remember, they used to be, well, kind of meta when used in Gear Town Turbo with like magical hats and bringing out like two level 8 Gadgetron Dragons on board and just like swinging with stuff. That used to be a popular version that I personally ran Machina Town Turbo, which was like I just used the Machina engine and the Ancient Gear engine and just like turboed out those cards. It was pretty fun. But now we can actually run Ancient Gears pure, which I've always wanted to do, and like this is my take on the deck. Alright, so let's get with the profile. So, two copies of Gadget Soldiers. You guys are probably thinking, you're such a scrub. Who the hell uses Gadget Soldier? The reason I'm using this is because of Ancient Gear Gadget. And once I go over Ancient Gear Gadget's effect, you will then see why I'm using the two copies of Gadget Soldier. Then I'm playing 3 Ancient Gears Reactor Dragon. What this card does, if you guys don't know, if you tribute it by an Ancient Gear monster, it's a piercer. If it was tributed by a gadget monster, it can make a second attack. So by that means, if you tribute it with Ancient Gear Gadget, you get both effects because it's an Ancient Gear and a gadget. So that's one good thing I like about Reactor. Is like you could just use this as a whole. You could just use this and just like summon it. You're not really gonna tribute summon it that often, but you're primarily gonna special summon it. And one good thing that I really like about it is if this card attacks until the end of the damage step, your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards. Also, monster effects in your opponent's possession cannot activate their effects. So this is basically like an Armades, like a 3K Armades that can be special summoned from deck. Pretty good. And its last effect is at the end of the damage step, if this card attacks, you can just target a spell trap on the field and destroy it. So that can help you pop Gear Town to go for more damage on board. It can pop Fortress to go for more damage on board. It can even pop your opponent's cards. One good thing I also like is that effect isn't a hard once per turn. You can go, if you have it with a second attack, you can attack, effect to pop, attack again. End of that damage step, effect to pop. So you can pretty much like pop a lot of spells if this card has multiple attacks. Then we're playing 3 Ancient Gear Wyvern. This card searches every Ancient Gear card in your deck. Normal special, add an Ancient Gear from deck to hand card, except itself, which doesn't really matter. You also you can't set cards the turn you use its effect, but that's not really of a hindrance. Like, yeah, it can come up once or twice when you play the deck, and if it attacks monsters in your opponent's possession, you can't activate their effects. So it has some built-in protection, which is nice. Then I'm also playing a rank 4 engine, essentially 2 golds, 2 silvers, and 2 tin goldfishes. I feel like the gadgets, especially gold and silver, offer a lot of board presence because just normal specials get a machine monster. Pretty damn decent. Then I'm playing 3 Ancient Gear Gadgets. So, its first effect is if this card is normal or special summon, you can declare 1 card type monster spell trap. This turn, if a monster you control attacks your opponent's cards and effects of that type cannot be activated until the damage step. So, if you guys want to know if this card works, if you activate its effect, declare trap cards and tribute summon, or you can declare monsters and tribute summon for something, and then tribute this card. You can check the Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization page because they have a list of rulings that include gadget. Then we're playing 1 copy of Ancient Gear Box. You guys might also be thinking this card is complete trash. Why would you run it? You'll see in a bit when we go to the extra deck. Then we're playing 3 Ancient Gear Hunting Hounds. This is basically like the deck's Paul. You summon it, flick 600 burn, fusion an Ancient Gear monster. Basically a Poly. A really good card. I was like, this card kind of sucks because the only valid targets we had when this card was announced was we had Ancient Gear. It was we only had Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem, and this card was okay, but you're using Ancient. But first you have to Golem, which kind of isn't inconsistent, but like its effect was like kind of mediocre too. But it did float, so that was pretty good as well. But now we have a better monster to use in place of it. Um, Now for spells, three catapults. Basically, you control no monsters. You activate this card, blow up a card on your field. Activate catapult. Well, first before you activate catapult, you want to do activate Gear Town, activate catapult, catapult blow up Gear Town. Easy. So you don't have to use cards like double cyclone anymore. Unless if you guys want to play double cyclone, you guys can feel free to do so. But you don't have to play double cyclone essentially in order to get your Gear Town pop. As well as with Reactor Dragon, Reactor can pop Gear Town too. Also has a graveyard effect. You can banish it um from the graveyard, target a face-up card you control, pop it, and special summon an Ancient Gear. So you can use this from the graveyard to pop a Gear Town or like other Ancient Gear cards you control. Like that, I haven't really used its banished effect too like much, but it's better to have it, right? Better to have than not. Better to have and not need it than the other way around. Then one Ancient Gear Workshop. I don't know. I think this card might be actually really good in here. Workshop, you can basically just like adds an Ancient Gear from graveyard, lets you recover your resources, lets you recover Wyvern if it's in the grave, lets you recover back Hunting Hound if you need to go for some more fusion monsters. So I only like one copy of this. Then I'm playing double machine dupes. This is what I was talking about with playing the gadget soldier, because you can do Ancient Gear Gadget and you can change its name to be any gadget monster. You can use it to be Gadget Soldier, Gadget Arms, which is a Morphtronic card, which is like it's a really bad card, but you have the option to go for Gadget Arms, and then it's kind of like a rescue. It kind of makes this into like a kind of like a rescue rabbit, because you machine dupe the Ancient Gear Gadget, and bring out like these two cards from your deck, or like Gadget Arms or whatever gadget monster you're using. You can also bring Gold and Silver Gadget. If you bring out double Gold Gadget, you can use Gold's effect to special summon a level 4 machine type like a Wyvern. Then you can go for a Utopia Future play right there, which is pretty nice. Then the one upstart just for consistency, and two Buck of Eclipse. I originally had Book of Moon in here, and I was like, wait, Book of Eclipse was a better version of Book of Moon. So I decided to just throw two Eclipses in here. Then Double Fortress. This is a card that's really good. You just activate it, and your opponent cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects during the turn they are normal or special summon. And they can't activate cards or effects in response to this card. So it kind of has like the little super poly thing going on. Not the fusion point, but the effect where they can't respond to it. And then if it's destroyed, you special summon Ancient Gear from hand to grave. So it has a little bit extra utility with Reactor Dragon. So you can do Reactor Pop, get out a gadget, not a gadget, sorry, an Ancient Gear from deck, not from deck, damn it, from graveyard, and just go off. Then one Ancient Gear Castle. This is just like a card that I personally like, because it lets you go for like, it kinda makes your Ancient Gears a little bit beefier, just with the 300 attack, and you just get like an extra and when you normal set each time monster normal set, you just put tokens on counters on it, not tokens, and then you just you just use it as like a tribute. So like if you open up a reactor, you just be like, alright, tribute. You can also use it with Ancient Gear Hydra too, like to tribute for Ancient Gear Hydra, which I don't play in this variant because mine's focused more on like the fusion. Triple Gear Towns, you guys all know what this does. Pretty broken. Then we have 3 Ancient Gear Reborns. This is like kind of like Monster. This is like a premature burial-esque. And the reason I say esque is because it revives an Ancient Gear from graveyard, but you have to control no monsters, and yeah, you can only control one of these. If you control no monsters, you can target an Ancient Gear monster in your graveyard, special it, and it gets 200. So that's pretty good for a recovery play. You can activate this, bring something back, activate Catapult to blow it up, special summon an Ancient Gear from deck. Pretty good. And then the one warning, just because like I didn't really know what else to throw in this, I was like, I'll use the one warning. So for our extra deck, we have 2 copies of Chaos Knight. This guy is amazing, like, whew. So And first it must be fusion summon. Cannot be special summon. That's irrelevant. Unaffected by spell and trap effects. So that's really good. Because that means that you can't like Dark Hole, like Geki, all these power spells. Though it can die to, it can still die to Cristal and Tribute and Kaiju's. So it's kind of balanced in that respect. And monsters in your opponent's possession cannot activate their effects during the battle phase. So that means if you attack, so that means during the battle phase, it's basically during the battle phase, it's basically like an Armades, if you guys want to think of it that way. But it can still die to Castell. And if it attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. This can attack. Oh yeah, it can attack all monsters. So it's the the boss monster of this deck. And 2 copies of Ancient Gear Devil. I'm pretty sure this is going to be called like Ancient Gear Fiend in the TCG. So it's unaffected by other card effects. You may be like, wow, that's so broken. But then you look at its stats, it's 1000 attack, 1800 defense. Not that broken. It's only like really broken if the monster has ridiculous attack. If they have like a really high attack. And then you can inflict 1000 damage. So if you can also do it to like you can set your grave up properly and then just go for Devil, inflict 1000. If they run over it, use a special one from grave. So that's pretty nice. And yeah, if you show about special Ancient Gear from your deck, ignoring its summoning condition. So what that means is you can get out Ancient Gear Golem, pretty good. And for our rank 6s, for our XCs, rank 6s, Utopia Beyond just to like run over stuff if we need to. Dragulus, I like this card a lot because it's a Bookmoon during either player's turn, which is pretty nice. And if its owner's control is sent to your graveyard or banished by your opponent's card effect, you special summon this card in face down defense position. If it's flipped face up, send a card on the field to the graveyard. So it's non-targeting, non-destruction, removal. Pretty good. If this card is flipped face up, so if it's flipped face up, I'm not sure if it's either by battle, if it works when it's flipped by battle, because technically it's not a flipped effect monster. I'm assuming it doesn't get that effect because of the same way like Swarm of Scarabs and Swarm of Locusts are worded. But you guys let me know on that. Then 1 Delteros, because Delteros is really good. You can replace this with another card if you guys want to. 1 Giga get extra slice. Little searching power, 101. I just like 101. It's a pretty like okay card. Like yeah, you can replace it with whatever. Giant Hand. I don't know. I don't really like Giant Hand. Like I think Giant Hand has really been power corrupt, and like I just don't think it's that strong as it used to be. I mean, this card was a prize card too. But you can replace this with whatever you guys wish. Castell's really good. Direwolf is just to like out cards. Like if your opponent has like an anti-spell, you can maybe go into Direwolf, pop the anti-spell, and then set up. Because even if you get rid of Direwolf and you have Catapult, Geotown in hand, you can bust out Chaos Giant. It's really just a 2-card combo to bust out Chaos Giant. I will go over that with you guys. And then Dagusto Emerald just to recycle, and Utopic Future just against like cards we can't run over, like maybe like Dark Destroyer, Dark Planet, or like Chaos Max. So these were cards that I was strong out. Like these are not bad cards, but I just didn't really feel like I really needed them. Like Raigeki, great card, but our guys pretty much like our Ancient Gears pretty much stop effects, so I didn't really feel like it was necessary. So to go over how to pull off first turn Chaos Giant, what you need is Gear Town. You need Gear Town and Ancient Gear Catapult. So what you do first is you activate the Gear Town, activate Catapult, pop destroying Gear Town and triggering it. You would special summon Ancient Gear Wyvern, and then you would special summon Ancient Gear Hunting Hound. Wyvern will let you search for an Ancient Gear card, so you can search for Ancient Gear Box. Once you added Box to hand, Box's effect will then proc. You can use Box to add the Ancient Gear gadget, and you already assembled 4 Ancient Gear cards to go for Chaos Giant. Then you just do Hunting Hound effect fuse. Pretty good. So that's how you pull it off. It's a really fun combo to me, because it's just like it's a 2-card combo for a 4500 beater that can't be affected by spell and trap effects. And it can pierce, and it can attack, and during the attack on monsters, and during the battle phase, it pretty much becomes an Armades at that point. Like that's pretty strong. But it still dies, like I said, it dies to Castell, it dies to Direwolf, it dies to basically just like monster effects during like main phase 1 or 2. So it's balanced in that respect because the counters, like those counters are just like pretty easy to make for it. It's still a great card. Like I think this card's amazing, and it looks really cool. So that's how so that's the deck profile. I'm I think this deck could potentially become good. Like I don't know if it'll become like meta. Definitely not tier 1. Maybe like rogue, like as a rogue option, because I could see this deck being really good for that. Um, uh, that's pretty much it for the deck profile. If you guys this is pretty much what I like. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Yeah.